The words of Kimberly Bator, I think, really speak to this cold full moon. She says, I stood in the moonlight this morning. The earth is slowly waking, whispering, stretching, waiting for the sun. Wondrous feeling, cold white light wrapping around me. Lift me up, dance in the grass, sparkle the trees with diamonds. Blessings. The full moon really represents completion. It has completed its cycle. And in just a few days, we'll see a new moon. We'll go dark and we'll see a new moon. Right about the time we're also celebrating a new year. So this is really a beautiful, auspicious full moon for us right now. So as we enter our practice today, instead of thinking, sometimes you'll hear a teacher say, think of something you want to let go of, and then you spend the whole hour stressed out about what I have to let go of. I just want to explore softness, gentleness, yin energy, which is what the moon invites us into, this soft white light, and just the word completion. As we come to the end of a really, really difficult year, just the word completion. And let's just let all of that kind of settle, and we'll just see what comes up with that as our groundwork. So go ahead and find a comfortable seat. Let's start seated for a few breaths. And you guys, I want to show you, I have blocks on either end of my mat. We're going to do moon salutations today, and they will have us do a movement that kind of looks like this. And so if you want to put two chairs or blocks at the ends of your mat, that's going to be helpful because we're going to move in that sideways motion a lot today. So as you're taking a moment to find your seat, you might gather something to sit on, like a cushion, a stool of some sort. Hi, Britt, welcome. Get comfortable here. When you're ready, close your eyes. Start to notice that you're breathing here as you sit. Let your breath become a little deeper, a little more full. Since the full moon is circular, we're going to start to really look at that idea of a circle. So let's start by using a circle breath. So as you sit here, I'd like you to imagine that you're sitting inside of a globe. You might even picture the full moon sitting right in the middle of this sphere. As you inhale, imagine the breath coming up from the bottom around the back of the circle, floating to the top, and then as you exhale, it turns from inhale to exhale and starts to spill down the front of this sphere. Underneath you, it changes directions and becomes again an inhale. Take a few circle breaths like that, just noticing that softness. Imagine sitting inside of this white light. And maybe it's a little bit cool. Maybe it's not warm white. It's cool white light circling you. And as you sit inside of this circle with your breath, just notice the energy this cool white light brings to your body. Let it create in you a softness. For the next hour, we'll practice inside of this softness. The moon represents our femininity, that part of us that is a nurturer, the part of us that cares for those around us. The full moon brings an opportunity to receive, to be receptive, to shed our hard external armor, our sun energy, and open ourselves to vulnerability, to being receptive. Let's take this circle motion into our shoulders. So slowly roll your shoulders up by your ears, and back and down. Feel your shoulders come way up by your earlobes and press way down your back. Notice any time you start to push into hard edges, see if you can taper that a little bit and come into more of a softness in your movements. Let's bring the fingertips to the shoulders, and now we'll make circles with our elbows up, out, and down. I always notice this desire to really like push the edges and really get something out of these stretches. Like if a little is good, more has to be better. In today's practice, catch yourself if you do that as well, and just soften a bit. And find the gift that soft movement can provide to your body. Let the fingertips fall to the floor, and let's sweep the arms up and lower them down. So making this circle even bigger around you with slow movement and breath. You might start to hear the sound of your breath as you're moving at this soft, sweet pace. The next time your arms reach up, interlace your fingers. We'll introduce the side body movement. So come up and over, center and switch. Again, I always notice my tendency to really want to push into this edge. Notice what happens when you soften into the edge. When you invite breath to be the action more than forcing. Inhale to open your fingers and look up. Take in oxygen. And then open your mouth, push out CO2. Inhale, breathe in oxygen. Exhale, breathe out carbon dioxide. Do that twice more, just noticing how brilliant our body is at knowing that it has to let go in order to receive. Release CO2, making room for oxygen. Spin your body over toward the right side and come into a twist. Lengthening the spine on the inhale and squeezing a little bit through the abs on the exhale. Twisting postures are cleansing postures that also help us to release yesterday's meals, stuck energy, tension that gets stored in our muscles. Float through the center, twisting to the left side, bringing that softness to this side. Throughout this practice, keep the visual of breathing inside of this round sphere. So making your breath round and soft. Come back to center. If you're sitting on something, you might want to move it. We're going to do torso circles. So we'll hold on to our knees and pull the chest forward, and then roll your rib cage sideways, back, side, and front. So imagine that you're just stirring the pot. And now your breath is moving around you kind of like a hula hoop. Inhale in the front and exhale in the back. Let's reverse directions, go the other way. Imagine a light, white, energetic hula hoop around you, moving in circles. Beautiful, you guys. Go ahead and pause in the center. One more time, scoop the arms up high, reach as high as you can, and let your hands come down in front of your heart. Soften your gaze down and just pause here in a moment of softness. Under the beautiful white light of a full, cold winter moon. Make our way into child's pose. Pat up under your knees. So softness is the name of the game. Give yourself cushion here. And settle down into this nurturing pose. The pose that resembles coming back to yourself, finding safety and solace here. Now you can feel breath moving through the back of your body. You can come back here as often as you like in this practice. Let's bring ourselves to a tabletop position. The knees come more neutral underneath the hips. And then press up to kneeling and sweep your arms up and back. So back to this circle idea. On the exhale, the hips lower, the fingers reach forward, the arms sweep back, the head drops down. And then inhale, rise again, just scooping up, making a big circle around you. How far can you go back in softness? How high can you lift your arms in softness? Keep the visual of being inside this white light sphere, full moon. And we'll go one more time, lifting up. And settling our hands to the mat, tabletop. Tucking our toes, lifting our hips into downward facing dog. Exploring with softness. No force, no push, just ease, lightness. Create a little flowy movement here. So on the inhale, the right leg comes up, the knee bends, the hip opens. And we return to center and switch. So back and forth, leg up and open, inhale, and lower to exhale. Moving in a way that feels smooth, inviting. If you like to flip your dog, take the time on one side to let that foot come all the way over. And shifting back again to a tabletop position. So when we were seated and we did that stirring motion, we're going to do that here. These are sometimes called barrel rolls. So drop your belly toward the floor and then shift your body to the right. Pull your back into cat. Shift to the left and down into cow. So it's like a sideways kind of hula hoop action. Elbows bend. Circles. Completion. Do a few in the other direction. No beginning, no end. Perfect circles. Coming back to a neutral spine. Let's tuck our toes once again. Slowly peel up into down dog. And then we'll take a walk forward. Slow steps. Soft footprints on the earth. Take your feet a little wider than you normally do. Soften your knees and hang here. Just allow your body to soften. You might sway or you might just hang out. Stay inside of this sphere of breath. Releasing our fingers to the ground. Heel toe back in just a bit and put a bend in your knees. Sweep the floor with your fingers and let's create that big arc around us again. Coming to a back bend and bending the knees, hinging from the hips. Arms reach behind us. Just like we did when we were kneeling. Big circle around us. Movement with breath. Three more like this. Finding your range of motion. Beautiful. Softness. The next time your arms reach high, pause in extension. Reach, reach, reach. Interlace your fingers, point up. And shift your body toward the left. Take a side bend, left side. Like a crescent moon. If you want to be a little more precise here, bring your feet together and just turn your whole body into this crescent moon shape. Find softness here. Beautiful. Come back to center and switch. Reach to your right. Breathe into your left. Find softness here. And come back. Let your hands come in front of your heart. Bow out your chin. And again, just pause here in softness. Release your hands. We'll turn to face the long edge of our mat. And if you haven't already, place two objects on either end of your mat, chairs or blocks, so that you can eventually have something to land on there with your Everybody take a deep breath with me with an audible exhale. Good. Bring your hands to your hips and make some little hip circles. A lot of us get pretty tight and rigid in this part of our bodies. Go the other way. I invite you to just find some ease and softness here. And then pause in the center, turn your toes out to the corners of the mat and let your arms open up into a star shape. As you exhale, softly bend your knees and come down into Goddess. Let's do that a few times. Coming up and down. Again, notice where there are hard edges. Notice where there's a little too much effort. Today we're staying on the sukha or sweet side of our practice. We're avoiding the sthira, the steady, the hard side of our practice. Letting nature dictate our energy. Let's create a little more of a circle. So the fingertips come up, bend your knees, sweep the arms down. Lift to inhale, lower to exhale. Visualize the sphere of white light around you. Move in that. You can start to create a little more heat here. Ujjayi breath will help that. Let's go one more time. Reach high into star. Exhale, Goddess. From here, straighten your arms out, palms down. I'm going to turn toward the right foot, pivot the back heel, come into Warrior Two on the right side. Warrior Two facing the right. And just come in and out of that warrior pose with a little softness, a little ease. Today you're a gentle warrior. And then bending that knee, let's tilt into side angle. Again, inviting ease here, softness. And a respect for the energy of the moon. So we're in the middle of a moon salutation, breaking it down. The next movement is a little bit of a leap of faith. We're going to reach our hands toward the floor or a block in front of us and let that leg, your left leg, lift. This is called half moon. Ardha Chandrasana. Chandra is the Sanskrit name for moon. Yeah, and if it helps you, take the block to the right, kind of the outside of your right foot so you can lean back a little bit. That's helpful. As you exhale, bend your right knee, drop your left foot, come back to a prayer squat. Woo. Let's lift and lower a few times. Star to Goddess. Okay, so from Goddess, straighten your arms. Warrior on the left side, so turn your left foot. Pivot your right heel out and come into warrior on the left side. Let's just straighten and bend that knee a few times. A gentle warrior. Dropping the elbow, let's come into side angle. The heart twists open, fingers reach. Find some softness here. Beautiful. And then look out ahead of you. There is a block or something to reach your hand towards. So shift your weight. If you move that block over to the left side of you, you can kind of lean back on it a bit. Helps with balance. Half moon. Everybody flex your top foot like you're putting a sideways footprint on the wall. Making a sideways footprint. Yes. Bend your left knee. Come back. Prayer squat. Okay, are you ready to put that together with flow? It's 6 postures. Inhale, star. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, right side, gentle warrior. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, half moon. And exhale, prayer squat. Inhale, star. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, warrior 2, left side. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, half moon. Exhale, prayer squat. Let's go one more time. Moon salutations versus sun salutations. They feel different. They move sideways. Warrior 2. Side angle. Good, half moon. And prayer squat. Good. Once more. Star. Goddess. Left side, gentle warrior. Side angle. Half moon. And prayer squat. We're going to lower this prayer squat. So just kind of start to wiggle your hips from side to side. You can put your hands on your knees. If your knees are a little fussy today, stay up here. If the knees give you a go ahead, drop your hips down. Come down into Malasana. A nice little helper is you can bring one of those blocks and just have a seat. That right under your hips. Or a chair. Elbows come inside the knees and the knees press out to the elbows. Shift your weight a little bit from side to side. Explore softness here. Chest is lifted, spine is long. From here, I'm going to invite you into crow pose, which is a challenging posture, but also requires softness. So option 1 is to stay right where you are, just to stay in your version of squat. Option 2, place your hands on the ground and just start to lift and lower. That could be a nice option to just hang out, lift and lower. If you'd like to play with arm balance, come up onto your toes, shift your weight to the backs of your arms, and look forward. When you look forward, that might help you pull your toes together. Stay here with a softness though. If that pose doesn't show up for you today, it's okay. Just be on the way to it. Be preparing for it. Nice. We'll straighten our legs. Come up to a wide forward fold. So again, take your feet a little bit wider. And we'll start to do the requested hip opening, legs and hips. So with your feet wide, take a block in front of you, bring your left hand to the block and twist open with your right hand. So the right hand comes up. Now put a big bend in your left knee, and that should give you a nice sensation around your right hip. Breathe deeply. And then switch sides. Right hand down, left arm lifts. Bend your right knee. Good, come back to center. Let yourself come all the way down into a wide straddle forward fold. So maybe even widen your feet a bit more. Let your hands rest on the ground. Maybe your head can rest on a block. Let yourself rest here for a few soft, sweet breaths. Come up to a flat back. We're going to work our way through a really nice, juicy hip sequence. So go ahead and turn towards your right foot and drop your left knee to the ground. Pat up under that knee if you like. As always, we have a lot of options. Option one is to stay right here. If you'd like a little more, press up on your front knee, lift your torso. Coming into hip flexor. For a full moon lunge, interlace your fingers like Charlie's Angels and lift. Arms by your ears, kneeling, crescent lunge. And if you're feeling extra energetic today, push onto the front of your back ankle, lift up into full crescent lunge. Sure to keep breathing. And we'll lower our hands to the floor. We're going to move around into compass, and if you haven't seen this before, watch the screen just for a second while I describe it. We're going to tuck our back toes. I'm going to drop onto the outside edge of our back foot and turn our right foot to the right. So you're going to feel a lot in your hips. So you're on the outside edge of your left foot. Turn around this way so you can see what the heck is going on. And your toes are pointing to the long edge of your mat. Okay, so we're going to lift the hips. Arm comes up over the head like a rainbow. And then we'll sweep that arm around, let the hip come to the floor. I hope this translates on Zoom because it really is a delicious hip opening sequence. So I'm on the outside edge of my left foot and my right arm is sweeping over like a rainbow. My right foot's just out in front of me. Come back around and find yourself again in lunge. We'll drop the knees to the mat. Push back into child's pose. Pause there. Come back to gentleness. Come back to softness. We'll release up to bring our left foot forward. Coming into this kneeling lunge, right knee on the ground. little more than you bargained for when you asked for hip and leg stretches, right? So either stay here or press up on that front knee. If you like, arms overhead, interlace your fingers like Charlie's Angels and lift up. You can stay here or press into the front of your back ankle. Point your toes to the wall behind you. So, good ankle strengthener, but it's challenging. Everybody breathe. As we lower our hands, we'll come into that compass pose. So first, tuck your back toes, lift your knee. Now the trick is if you just lift up your left toes, turn your toes toward the side of the mat, and then you can just fall to the outside edge of your right foot. Yeah. Really flex that back foot so that the ankle holds you. We'll reach overhead, lift the hips. And then sweep the arm, drop the hip. The arm make a great big rainbow. And as you come down, we're going to drop the knee and literally come to a seat. So your hips come to the earth. Right? Bring the soles of your feet together. Good. Wiggle your sitting bones side to side till you feel like you're right on top of them. And then get your feet as close as you can to you so that you can hold your ankles and give a little press with your elbows. So moving to the inner thighs, the adductors. Chest pushes forward, elbows press down. Close your eyes and once again find a softness here. Less force, more just allowing, receiving a stretch. Put yourself back inside that circle, that sphere of white light breath. Because this is a great place to stay. If you'd like to go a little further with a stretch for the back, the feet come out away from you a bit. Slide your hands under your legs and put your palms on the tops of your feet. This is called tortoise or turtle. So palms on the tops of your feet and drop your head. Your legs are gently pulling down on your arms. This is a big stretch for the back of the body. Tuck your chin to your chest, just like a turtle coming into its shell. And release. Let's come all the way down onto our backs. If you have a strap nearby, you're welcome to grab that. You could use a towel, a t-shirt, a sock. We're going to stretch our hamstrings for those crazy people that worked out so hard yesterday. So lying on our backs, let's start with right knee into chest, left leg flat on the ground. And we'll take that leg straight up in the air. You can hold on to your calf, strap if you have your big toe. And try not to force. Bring your leg a little closer to you and farther away, just in and out. Maintaining softness in the muscles. Another way our body is so wise is all of our muscles have sensors in them, and they know when they're being overstretched, and they automatically contract when they're pushed beyond their normal flexibility. And so when we force and push in yoga, we actually work against ourselves. When we go softly, when we ask permission, we get a lot more. So find that soft edge. Let that leg come out away from you a bit, just to stretch toward the inner hamstring, inner thigh. And back up. As we bring the leg across in a twist, you can bend your knee or keep the leg straight. And take the leg across, open the right arm and turn your head to the right. You might close your eyes here and breathe into this gentle twist. Let your shoulders stay on the ground. And coming back to center. Draw your left knee into your chest. Let your right leg be flat on the ground. Using the strap or your hands, straighten your left leg. The knee is going to stay kind of soft, just a soft bend as you bring the leg closer and farther away. Looking for really subtle, small movements here. Movements that just ask permission instead of forcing. Kind of like negotiating with our partners in life. We get a lot farther if we ask nicely than if we try to force. Let that leg come out to the side as far as you like. Just get a little opening in the left adductors. Let your breath go. Nice, and as we come back in, that knee bends. We'll draw the leg across the body for a twist. You're welcome to keep a straight leg as well. It's a nice big stretch for the IT band if you do this with a straight leg. And your awareness to that sphere that you're breathing into. Cool white light surrounds you. We'll ease our way back to center, planting both feet on the earth. Lifting into bridge pose. So if you want to keep this a gentle practice, slide a block or pillow under your hips and choose today supported bridge instead. Or if you'd prefer, go ahead and lift your hips, interlace your hands under you and do a little more active pose. If wheel pose is in your practice, you can put your hands on the ground and push up into a full round back bend. A great heart opener under a full moon. Breathe into the space in front of you. Let the breath circle around behind you. Take one more breath, expanding the front of the body. And exhale, release to the earth. Draw the soles of your feet together. Let your knees open. One hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. Supta Baddha Konasana. Let's bring left hand to heart, right hand to belly. Left hand, your feminine hand, softness over the heart. The right hand, masculine, strength over your center of strength. And breathe into this posture of strong love and loving strength. This is a comfortable resting place. You can stay right here, or you could stretch your body out into Shavasana. Feel free to put something over you or under you that helps you stay calm and comfortable. As soon as you're settled, bring again that sphere of cool white light around you. The breath in comes up from behind you. And the breath out spills across the front of that circle and surrounds you. Mary Oliver said, "To live in this world, you must be able to do three things: to love what is mortal, to hold it against your bones knowing your own life depends on it, and when the time comes, to let it go." Continue that slow circle of breath. And inside of this beautiful white circle, begin gently moving your body. Fingers, toes, joints stretching, moving like a cat, waking up from a nap. Rolling to one side, and eventually returning to a seat. Bring again that softness, that left hand to the heart, the right hand on top of it. Find a tenderness here. As we come to the end of the last practice together in this very strange year, this very strange way we're sharing time, I'd like to leave you with the words from Sojourner Truth. Those are the same stars, and that is the same moon that look down upon your brothers and sisters, which they see as they look up, though they are ever so far away from us and each other. Hands together in gratitude and under the beautiful, cool white light of her, Chandra. I say thank you. Thanks for today. Thanks for being here on so many days this year. You have given me the gift of being able to continue teaching. And I hope in some small way it has helped you get through this year. Namaste, friends.